Welcome back to Puffery, a fresh perspective on why Adventura. I'm Nicole Knobel, and I'm happy to welcome you back on this treasure hunt, where the map is written after we've paved the path, and the treasure is always banded by an ADV shield. In today's episode, titled Blueprints of a Blend, we're pulling back the curtain on the blending philosophy that drives Adventura. It's not just about creating a cigar. It's about using the raw materials available in the best combination possible. And the team behind it is the key to making that happen. So grab your favorite blend and get comfy as we uncover the blueprints of an ADV blend. And I'm paraphrasing author and founder of Def Jam, Rick Rubin, but he wrote, "Nothing begins with us. All the work we ever create is a collaboration. It's a collaboration with what's come before us, the world we live in, the experiences we've had, the tools we use, who our audience is, and who we are today." And knowing that, when we create new blends, we set ourselves a standard with 3 main components that each blend must have, or it doesn't get released. Now, these 3 words couldn't be thrown around more loosely and more often in our industry, but I'll share with you exactly what we mean when we say balance, complexity, and harmony. Balance. Think about how challenging even the simplest daily tasks would be without balance. Walking would be a futile exercise. Riding a bike would become, well, interesting, let's say the least. And landing a plane would be more of an Evel Knievel sport rather than a profession. Oh, and driving, that would be fun, right? If your tires weren't mounted and balanced properly. So balance is essential, no doubt. But it can sometimes feel a little bit mundane or even invisible. It's a quiet necessity that we rarely stop to appreciate. So at what point does balance transition from something we take for granted to something that's truly captivating or experiential or memorable? And that happens when you sprinkle in a little bit of complexity. When balance is challenged, elevated, or framed in a way that grabs your attention. Think of a tightrope walker balancing way above the ground, or a ballerina effortlessly pirouetting on the tip of her toes. In both cases, balance becomes extraordinary because complexity transforms it into something worth watching and experiencing and remembering. So it's that interplay of simplicity and intricacy that elevates balance into an art. But there's another layer that makes these feats not only mesmerizing, but sustainable, and that's harmony. It's the reassurance that everything is working together seamlessly, that the tightrope walker won't plummet to his death, and that the ballerina won't break an ankle mid-performance. Harmony provides the depth and stability that allow complexity and balance to shine. It's the invisible thread that weaves all the elements into a cohesive experience. So when you think of harmony in music, it's the perfect blending of multiple notes and keys and voices all coming together to create one cohesive sound. It's not just a single melody, but a layering of elements that provides both depth and width, turning something simple into something immersive and emotionally resonant. Harmony is what takes a song from pleasant to unforgettable, as every part works together to create one complete experience. Ooh, cooking is another great example that I like to use. Take the humble onion, right? Raw and thinly sliced, it offers a crisp and sharp counterbalance to a rich or fatty dish. Sauté it until it's translucent and it gives a good body to the dish. Or caramelize it, and then you've unlocked super deep, rich sweetness that adds a whole new dimension. But multi-dimensional flavor. Now, how that translates into tobacco and blending cigars. The ultimate goal is to achieve a perfect trifecta of balance, complexity, and harmony. So sure, smoking can just be about smoking. That's absolutely fine. But my goal is to share with you when we think of a great cigar and you guys in mind creating it for. To us, it isn't just about tasting good. It's about the whole experience it takes you on, where balance stabilizes, complexity captivates, and the harmony leaves the lasting impression. So blending is as much an art as it is a science. It's about how well Henderson and Marcel understand the characteristics of each leaf, the flavor it imparts, the strength it carries, and the way it interacts with the other ones. It's also about the personal experiences and preferences that shape their decisions, much like a chef who seasons a dish based on their culinary journey. One blender might emphasize boldness, using the wrapper to create the strongest impression, or another one might focus on subtle transitions between the thirds, ensuring a slow build of flavor with the binder and filler. It's this intersection of technical knowledge and creative expression that makes blending such a cool thing and a super unique craft. And at the end, it's just like cooking, with the end result reflects not only the quality of the ingredients, but also the passion, the expertise, and the individuality of the people behind it. And that's what makes each blend and each cigar a singular experience. All right, side note. If you love bolognese or any pasta and meat sauce, Marcel and I have been to Bologna quite a few times. It's only about a 4.5-5 hour drive from here, from where we live. I love that city. I used to go there a couple times a year for work, and about 40 minutes outside of that city, there is a restaurant in the heart of Emilia-Romagna called Amerigo. They serve their bolognese with a side of raw red onion and a little pile of salt. Game changer. The next time you make bolognese, please try it with a little side of raw red onion, just a little petal, and a little pile of flake salt. It's why the Italians are the kings and queens of hospitality and cuisine. But don't tell the French I said that. They're for sure number one in my book for winemaking, especially Burgundy. But that piece of raw onion literally changed our perspective for how to enhance using unsuspecting ingredients. And it lends to the blending toolbox. So this is where the real adventure begins. We have a clear target. Super easy to reach, right? Balance, complexity, harmony, no problem. Then we dive headfirst into the intricate and unpredictable process of bringing this baby to life. Testing infinite combinations of tobaccos might sound like an endless game of fun, but it's trial and error, and that's where the magic happens. Every leaf has its story, shaped by the seeds it grew from, the soil it was planted in, and the weather it endured. Add to that the craftsmanship of the tabacaleras, the fermentation process, the aging. The art of blending suddenly went from a super simplistic goal to becoming a friggin' masterpiece in the making. But then, the challenge doesn't stop there. Once the blend is perfected, then we have to ensure packaging, pricing, distribution, and all that jazz goes off without a hitch in an already overly saturated market, and hope that we don't get lost in the shuffle. But here's the thing, though. That last bit, every producer has to face those hurdles. And the playing field at this stage is at least relatively level. So what makes the difference? It's how we tackle those hurdles, how you embrace those obstacles as opportunities rather than setbacks. And this is where the strength of our team really shines. Marcel's relentless pursuit of precision ensures that no detail is overlooked. And Henderson's instinct for blending transforms ordinary leaves into extraordinary cigars. And me, I thrive on finding creative and unexpected ways to solve the puzzles that come our way and get thrown at us. Novel problems demand original solutions. I love that. I'm going to say that again. Novel problems demand original solutions. And it's in those moments of problem solving that we really get to flex our strengths and push boundaries and create something truly memorable. This isn't just about cigars. It's about embracing the adventure and making sure the journey is as meaningful as the final product. So let's flex those strengths, shall we? Henderson Ventura, a proud native of the Dominican Republic, gives us an incredible edge simply by being stationed in the heart of where everything begins. When your craft is rooted in a region, there's a depth of understanding and authenticity that can't be replicated by secondhand knowledge. To illustrate this, let me share a slightly controversial yet fitting example. Remember Ray Gunn, the Australian breakdancer from the Olympics? This isn't about her performance, okay? This is about her approach. She had a PhD in breakdancing. She studied the culture for years and thought she could study her way into being a breaker and then go and represent her country in the Olympics. The problem there? She never truly lived it. She tried to build a house from the outside in. And while she might have mastered the theory and the moves, she didn't really embody the essence of the culture. And it's not that she couldn't become a breaker eventually, but she skipped the part where you gotta immerse yourself in the foundation of it all. And this is the stark difference with Henderson because he lives the culture of tobacco. It's in his blood, his upbringing, his every single day life. His understanding isn't academic. It's deeply experiential. In future episodes, of course, we'll dive into the pedigree of tobacco that runs through his veins and the rich tapestry of relationships he's built over the years with the farmers, with the suppliers, and the tabacaleras. These aren't just business connections. They're partnerships built on trust, respect, and a shared love for the craft. Henderson is also a master of patience. And let me tell you, sometimes this guy's patience, I'm just like, look, America does not run at this pace of patience. We need to a little bit. But it's invaluable. It really is. As much as I would like to say, like, your patience is great and the cigars turn out nice, but we need to ship this, like, right now. For sure, it's an invaluable trait. And when it comes to tobacco and business, he doesn't rush the process because he knows that the beauty of a perfectly crafted cigar lies in that subtle, nuanced set of decisions made along the way. The patience combined with his awareness of the intricacies of the industry gives us a significant advantage. And he doesn't just know tobacco. He understands it on a level that makes him more than a master blender. He's an architect of the experience. And that's the difference between studying the craft and living it. Now, Marcel is the embodiment of Swiss precision in all the best ways. When he dives into a subject, this guy is relentless in pursuit of the knowledge, soaking up every ounce of relevant information until he feels not only adequately informed, but masterfully prepared. Only then does he make the move. He's calculated, methodical, and super detail-oriented. And he's not afraid to adjust his strategy as long as we're moving towards the goal. He's the guy who ensures that every step of the journey is deliberate, it's efficient, and it's executed with precision. And unlike the infamous Ray Gunn, who aimed to showcase her skills without fully understanding the culture, Marcel isn't trying to be recognized as the world's best at something for the sake of recognition. He's the guy that says, look, If we're going to show the world what we're made of, let's do it right. Let's get the perfect stage, the right media, impeccable uniforms, and we got to have these types of practices. So Marcel is the architect of the systems, ensuring that every detail supports the bigger picture. So I'm sure this goes without saying, but you guys probably have already figured out that he's the numbers guy. And he's really what keeps the engine running smoothly. While his meticulous nature could easily lead to overcomplication, Marcel's brilliance lies in the ability to simplify things. He's based our entire brand story on something timeless and universally compelling, the actual story of tobacco itself. And as Picasso famously said, good artists borrow, but great ones steal. Marcel took the inspiration from the fascinating journey of tobacco and how it traveled from the old world to the new world and mirrored it with his own story. A Swiss tobacconist leaving the old world to venture into the new world to create something super cool and extraordinary. And that's Adventura. It's a narrative that practically tells itself. And it's proof that the best stories are often the simplest. And we're not here to reinvent the wheel. Instead, we're here to really focus on honoring the craftsmanship and making sure it rolls as smoothly as possible. So Marcel's calculated vision ensures that every element of our brand reflects the journey, the precision, and the passion behind it. And lastly, to bring a little harmony to the group, there's a touch of good old American competitive spirit, combined with an understanding of the importance of follow-up and follow-through. And when we say we're going to do something, we got to do it. No exceptions. And when the right moment comes, I will say that we'll be ready, knowing exactly how our luck was earned and not just wished for. My role is really to simplify the complex and to present our message in the clearest, most effective way possible while still keeping everyone on their toes. I'm the one who makes sure that we're not just saying things, but that we're saying them with a purpose. And in a world where we're constantly bombarded with information, my goal is to cut through that noise and edit for clarity while sparking a little bit of curiosity. Because if we're not leaving you with something to think about, we're not really doing our job. So our dynamic is a pretty special one, and together we make up Adventura. And more simply put, I would say if ADV were a human body, Henderson would be the heart, Marcel would be the head, and I'm the rest of the jazz that makes up the human body, like the guts and the muscles and the mediator of the matters between the head and the heart. And it is true what they say, that ignorance is bliss, because once you start thinking about all the potential things that can go wrong, the preparation to avoid that can at times be so overwhelming. But it's also pretty empowering, and there are times when we question even getting out of bed in the morning. Well, not Marcel, because he's Swiss and he gets up at the same time every morning. And Henderson, well, you're never quite sure what made him not get out of bed in the morning, but at the moment, I'm sure it sounded like a really good idea. But there's no way around making mistakes when you're building a brand. And in our case, we just try to avoid making it too costly of a mistake. So as we wrap up today's episode of Puffery, a fresh perspective on why Adventura, I hope you've gained some insight into our blueprints of a blend. It's about the stories, the people, and the intentional choices that shape every aspect of what we do. From the artistry of balance, the intrigue of complexity, and the grounding comfort of harmony. Each blend we craft is more than just a product. It's a nod to the past, it's a celebration of the present, and it's a spark of curiosity for what's to come. Now don't worry. I'm not going to be the only one yapping on here this entire time. Trust me, I'm going to have the guys as guests and some other fun ones as well. But next time, we'll unpack the Swiss Precision portion of our Swiss Precision Dominican Passion tagline and how the culture and tradition played a major role in forming Adventura. So thanks for joining me on the start of this treasure hunt. Until next time, may your cigars be smooth, your moments intentional, and your perspective ever fresh.